And this is exactly how I have written it in my book. Again, I feel if you read the book, first of all, I've explained the holistic principles, the basic holistic principles in the first few introductory chapters. So I would very much recommend that before you go, and then I have like a chapter on ailments and what to do for each ailment, how to monitor the symptoms. And there is always a section under every ailment, time to see the doctor. You should know you can be a healer up to some extent, but we should be practical enough to know that there's certain things that are beyond your domain of treatment, and you have to then see a medical doctor. So under each ailment, I definitely have a section that says, if you look out for these, if the symptoms are so and so, this aggravated, let's say for fever, if it's just developing, okay, the hand feels warm. And I mentioned all this. When you massage your baby, you'll realize, hey, today the hand feels warmer. You could do a proactive therapy. Give the child maybe an infusion of coriander seeds. Okay, that's again, it's been mentioned. So it's like instead of drinking water, he or she drinks the nice herbal drink. It's quite tasty. You just put some coriander seeds in water and let the baby sip on that, and that keeps down the fever. It won't let it go so high up. Or you start giving a cold compress on the forehead if the fever started to rise. Okay, now if the fever again is like crossing above 102, reaching 104, it's not coming down, of course it's you must see the doctor.
Time to go to the doctor.
Of course. And then depending upon the age and weight of the baby, might prescribe paracetamol or equivalent drugs. But for like first 6 months, you should not give any drug over the counter without consulting with your doctor or pediatrician. This again is some information, even like modern medical care, I have mentioned about it. It's not like I exclude it. I think everything has its place under the sun. The holistic aspect has its limitations, medical aspect has its limitations, but when we join hands, we can really benefit our health in a more broader way, in a more deeper way. So this is my philosophy. You start off giving the natural therapies first. If it's not working, go to the doctor.
And obviously you do have a daughter of your own.
And a son.
And a son too, 2 kids, and you've tried it on them.
Of course.
And it works.
And it works. That's what, like in the beginning, of course, you do feel, even I have been going to doctors, not that I was just home all day and just giving them herbal. No, like after 2 days, if my son's fever would not come down, definitely I would go and just sort of, have peace of mind that I hope it's nothing too serious. Because viruses are not serious, but when it becomes a bacterial infection, then you feel, they need a little bit more of a sophisticated medical treatment. But yes, during the first 3 years, it's there, the uncertainty is there. But what I realized was because I gave them natural remedies first, today, touch wood, with the grace of God, they don't fall sick that often. I feel the immune system is developing very well. Like compared to the other children, in their class, they don't catch fevers that often, and when they do not need drugs anymore today. This is something
strong enough.
They are strong enough. I give them the healing soup or some herbal remedy and they are fine. So that is something I feel it has been worth it. Getting up and giving them cold compress at night instead of just giving them medicine and putting them to sleep, that extra sweat has been worth it. That's what I feel.
So those are some of the common remedies that could be cured through a holistic approach. We'll now take a short break. Coming up next, we have more questions, particularly on the postnatal recipes. This is interesting as well. Stay with us.
คุณจะทำอะไรเพื่อแผ่นดินเกิดที่คุณรัก ร่วมเป็นหนึ่งใน63ล้านดวงใจร่วมพลังสร้างความเชื่อมั่นให้กับประเทศไทย
ผมจะรับฟังทุกเสียงของประชาชนเพื่อร่วมกันแก้ไขปัญหาของชาติ
โครงการฉันรักประเทศไทย
In true Thai spirit, we're dedicated to making you feel truly welcome in our home. Come and discover amazing value in amazing Thailand.
ร่วมเป็นหนึ่งใน63ล้านดวงใจร่วมพลังสร้างความเชื่อมั่นให้กับประเทศไทย
ผมจะรับฟังทุกเสียงของประชาชนเพื่อร่วมกันแก้ไขปัญหาของชาติ
โครงการฉันรักประเทศไทย
Welcome back. This is NNT News Talk, and joining us this afternoon is Kun Duangthip Arora, the author of A New Age Manual for the New Mother, Postnatal and Beyond. We talked about some of the very interesting issues that moms and moms-to-be should know, but then again, I caught on this postnatal recipe. It's very interesting, especially once you give birth to a child. You want to have your body go back to its shape, body after baby, or so to say.
Right.
What are the recipes?
Yeah, the recipes focus first of all on easy digestion. Okay, the food, the recipes that I have mentioned in my book are like pre-assimilated food that you can make at home, and it's in a gruel form, so the body gets the nutrients faster and it does not lead to weight gain. So some of the recipes are like for the Indian, the lentil rice porridge is called the khichdi, which you can have with like yogurt, and which is very delicious, and it's like tempered with herbs that that are warming herbs that help to facilitate digestion and cleansing as well of the GI tract. And then we have like the khatom. I've even mentioned that in my book because it's like an amalgamation. I take the best of every culture. So there's the khatom porridge, because what I like about khatom is the use of herbs like lemongrass. I sort of like to use the tom yum herbs, as you mentioned. It's helps to really build up your appetite as well for food, and it's easy to digest such food which are tempered with the right herbs. So there's a khatom porridge, and khatom also makes use of garlic, which I would like to mention is very good. It's a rejuvenative herb that helps in digestion and building up new tissues. And there are also herbs like the madhupayat in Thai. It's called kheer in Hindi. It's the sweet rice milk porridge or pudding.
It's easy to find.
Very easy. All the ingredients, okay, the recipes I have mentioned are such that anyone can make anywhere. They're very universal ingredients. You don't have to go to the Himalayas for any herbs. They are available in the talat next to you, okay, in the market. So it's simple stuff really, but the focus is like making it whole, making it natural and organic as much as possible with the ingredients. And when you make the food, it should be like in a gruel state, in a semi-solid, you could say, especially for the first 40 days.
Because?
That's when I mentioned about the postnatal restorative period called the PNR period, which is the 40-day period after childbirth. And this normally corresponds to the period before the woman begins her first periods after delivery. So it's like generally Ayurveda says it's 40 days. And what is interesting is today modern science tells us that for any organ, the cell turnover for any organ, it completely replaces itself after 40 days, like for the skin. You know, when you go to a skin doctor, they will tell you follow